Welcome back to Brander Mill Local Radio. Tonight we're going to take a deep dive into the December Brander Mill Community Association Board of Directors meeting.
That's right. We're breaking down all the key discussions and decisions from their December 16th meeting over at the North Beach Clubhouse.
So picture this. It's 6 p.m. on a Monday.
You're sitting in the North Beach Clubhouse.
Agenda's in front of you.
Now, I gotta say, board meetings, they can seem a little dry sometimes.
Yeah.
But they actually give us a lot of insight into what the community is thinking about and what their priorities are.
Right.
So let's jump in.
They started off with the usual approving the agenda and the minutes from the previous meeting back in November.
Right. Standard procedure.
But then things got a little more interesting.
Oh.
They had not one, but two executive sessions.
Two?
Now, for those who don't know, executive sessions are basically closed-door meetings.
Right.
Where they talk about things like legal matters, personnel issues, or anything sensitive that can't be discussed publicly.
So we may not know the specifics of what went down.
Right.
But having two executive sessions, well, it definitely makes you wonder what was going on.
It definitely does. When they came back into open session, they tackled a whole bunch of topics.
Like what?
Starting with a report from the Communication and Marketing Committee.
Okay.
They said they felt pretty good about what they had accomplished and thought maybe they could meet less often.
Oh, interesting.
Like switch to a quarterly schedule or just meet as needed.
Makes sense if they've wrapped up a lot of their projects.
And then they talked about possibly changing up their charter. So that could change how they communicate with us residents.
Keep an eye on that.
Next up was the need to replace a compliance store.
Compliance store.
We're going to make sure everything's up to code.
Right, of course.
The board ended up approving an estimate for the replacement.
How much was it?
$5,490 from first-class contractors.
And where's that money coming from?
Reserve funds.
Which is why it's so important to have those reserves built up.
Exactly.
You never know when something like this is going to pop up.
Now, one thing that the board seems really focused on is the erosion problem over at Sunday Park.
Yeah. Erosion can be a real headache for any community.
They were looking at two plans.
Okay.
One was more basic, just filling in the eroded area.
And the other?
The second plan was more involved with adding tiered landscape walls to help absorb water and prevent further erosion.
Sounds like a more long-term solution.
It does, and they decided to go with that updated plan, the one with the walls.
Smart move, thinking ahead.
They're also working with the Community Appearance and Maintenance Committee to come up with a planting plan for that area.
So it sounds like they're really trying to tackle this erosion issue head on.
Now, besides the door in Sunday Park, there were also reports from some other committees, like the Architectural Review Board and the Community Appearance and Maintenance Committee.
Always good to hear what those committees are up to.
And then came the financial report.
The numbers.
They went over the September financials,
Okay.
but the October ones weren't quite ready yet.
Oh, why not?
The Finance Committee hadn't had a chance to review them.
Gotta make sure everything's in order.
Exactly. Now, of course, they also had reports from the president
Right.
and the treasurer.
Okay.
And this is where things got interesting again.
Oh, how so?
Well, Treasurer Templeman announced he was stepping down as treasurer,
Stepping down.
but he's staying on the board as a director.
So just a change in roles, not a complete departure?
Right, exactly.
Interesting. Makes you wonder what prompted that.
It does. But to fill the treasurer spot, the board appointed Secretary Cheney as the new treasurer.
Okay.
And then to fill the secretary position, they appointed Director Carpenter.
So a bit of a shuffle at the top.
Definitely. And remember those two executive sessions we mentioned?
Oh, yeah, the mysterious closed-door meetings.
Well, after the second one, they came back and had a whole bunch of motions to address.
Sounds like those executive sessions led to some decisions.
First up was the official vote on that estimate for the compliance door replacement.
The $5,490.
That's right. The motion passed, so that project's a go.
Right. What else?
Then they voted to approve that Sunday Park erosion plan.
The one with the tiered walls?
Yep.
Good to see them taking a proactive approach to that.
And then they approved a waiver request.
Okay.
They didn't give specifics there.
Probably for privacy reasons, right?
Most likely. They also approved a payment plan.
Again, no details.
Nope. Then there were two new applications for self-maintained status for 2025.
Self-maintained, meaning the homeowner takes care of their own property, not the BCA.
Exactly. One of the applications got conditional approval.
Meaning?
They need to submit a landscape plan and a completed application by December 30th.
So they've got some work to do.
Right. But the other application was denied.
Again, no reasons given.
Nope. And finally, they had a collections appeal to address.
Collections appeal.
Yeah, it's when a homeowner disagrees with a charge or fee they've been given.
I see.
And the motion to approve the appeal passed.
So the homeowner won their appeal.
Yep.
Interesting.
But there was one dissenting vote.
Sounds like there was some disagreement about it.
After that, they went ahead and officially appointed the new treasurer and secretary.
So Cheney is now officially in as treasurer.
Right.
And Carpenter is the new secretary.
Exactly. And that's pretty much wraps up the main part of the meeting.
Wow.
I know, right? They really covered a lot in those 4 hours.
It was a long one. So that wraps up our deep dive into the December BCA Board of Directors meeting.
Hope you found it useful.
Don't forget, the next meeting is Monday, January 27th at the North Beach Clubhouse.
Be there or be square.
This has been Brander Mill Local Radio.
Thanks for tuning in.
And good night, Brander Mill.